This is its own solar system. We're about to have a solar system come through the middle of our solar system. This can't be good. But unfortunately, it looks as though that's what's going to happen. Hopefully nothing in this mess will hit us, even though it does say it will in the Bible, at least as it does in my Bible. It says we can expect all kinds of problems.
But today, scientists from the California Institute of Technology have announced that they finally have solid evidence for a Planet X, a true ninth planet on the edge of our solar system.
While the ninth planet has not officially or technically been spotted yet, it is believed to be far beyond the orbit of Pluto, roughly the size of Neptune, with a mass 10 times that of Earth.
That's really it. And so it's bigger, it's bulkier, it's got more heft, it's got more gravity. It's this huge elephant in the living room, except we didn't know it was there.
Caltech researchers may have discovered a new planet in the outer reaches of our solar system. With a mass 10 times that of Earth, the new planet is said to take between 10,000 and 20,000 years to orbit the Sun. According to Konstantin Batygin, an assistant professor of planetary science, although we were initially quite skeptical that this planet could exist, as we continue to investigate its orbit and what it would mean for the outer solar system, we become increasingly convinced that it is out there.
Scientists have discovered a possible new planet in our solar system for the first time in 170 years. Evidence of this ninth planet was found on the far edge of the system. Astronomers at the California Institute of Technology have not directly seen it yet, but they think it's up to 10 times bigger than Earth and 20 times farther away than Neptune. Derek Pitts is chief astronomer and director of the Fels Planetarium at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. What's the evidence that it's there?
So the evidence is that we can look at objects orbiting around our solar system and figure out why their motions are the way they are because of the gravitational influences of everything else around. So we looked at a small group of objects newly discovered and realized we couldn't actually completely understand their motion. However, if we insert into the equation about that an object about the size of this Planet 9, everything then worked out perfectly. So that's what gives the suspicion that it really does exist.
So you don't see it, but you said it's all about the numbers. So two scientists are playing around with numbers and they think what?
They think, this doesn't add up.
Yeah.
We need to ask some other folks to take a look at this for us and tell us if we're crazy. And sure enough, that's what they did. The Caltech astronomers looked at the number and said, you know that idea about there being another planet? That's not a crazy idea. It looks like it's really possible.
I have a red object that's right at the sun. Look at that. The little white speck is my lens flare. But that red object, I never pick up, you guys. And it's never been bright red like that. Usually it's orange and it's in the sun.
Hi everyone, this is Nibiru Watcher and it's August 18th, 2016. We're looking at a web camera in Germany, Ammersee. See the plasma? See that? We can see the shadow. This is the face of the northwest. I believe this is a very fast moving planet. 10 minutes later, it moved up here. We can see the shadow. Look at in the clouds. People. Do you see that? Do you see how it darkened and the next minute it's moving? Do you see it reflecting the shadow on the water? You look at that thing. That one there just takes my breath away. Look how big this thing is. I think this at this point is almost directly overhead.
I'm going to show you a compilation series of images that were taken yesterday, June 27th, from an Alaska webcam facing both east and southeast. These images are definitely showing a red winged globe comet-like entity. But what is equally interesting about these images is that they are showing an incredible fiery ring around the sun, which most likely is created by the cosmic dust tail of Planet X, which produces a red iron oxide dust particle, the same substance that encloaks the planet Nibiru, which is the outermost body of the Planet X system. Going to show you a series of screen captures taken by Skycam observatories from around the world between June 25th and today, June 28th. This one from the Lila Chrisman Observatory in Illinois on June 27th is showing the winged globe Nibiru. If you look closely, you will see it appear. Here is the capture taken on June 27th from the Moonglow Observatory, showing the mysterious blue planet-like object off to the far left of the Sun, as well as objects of interest near the Sun. Here is another capture from the Las Vegas Observatory on June 27th, showing the tremendous fan-shaped dust trail of Nibiru. Off to the far left, you can see the blue-green planet-like object similar to the one we saw in the Moonglow Observatory on June 25th. This Skycam capture from the Las Vegas Observatory on Mount Potosi, which shows a definitive dust trail from the Planet X system at the upper northeast location at 2050 UTC on June 25th. This one taken from the Tulum Skies Observatory on June 25th is very revealing in that if you look at the upper northeast location, you will actually see the winged globe Nibiru appearing along with one or possibly two other planetary bodies located just below it. As you scroll down and look at the projected view, you will notice the objects appearing at the upper right of the image. Here is another capture which appears to be showing an object of great importance. This is from the Moonglow Observatory in Warrensburg, Missouri, taken on June 25th at 2051 UTC. This appears to be showing two objects of interest within the Planet X system. At the northwest location, just above the Sun, you can see the second Sun, which could be the binary star in our solar system. But if you look off to the northeast, you will see a rather large object, bluish in color, appearing from behind the clouds, which tends to resemble a planet or celestial body. You will also see the blue object appear in the horizontal frames showing on this site. This capture from Cades Observatory in Australia appears to be showing a double sunrise on June 27th. If you look off to the west, you will see another bright object rise with the Sun. This is a very interesting capture from Craigie in Western Australia on June 27th, showing two very definitive suns over the eastern horizon.
Right now, there is a green object and there's a large red object out there that we think is the Nemesis Hercules star. Well, this is from a Skycam in New Mexico. But as you can see, this is a large orb surrounded by a red dust with a hole in it. And this is one of those rare shots. I don't know if you guys watch the all sky cameras, but this is, I think, from Moonglow Observatory. The green planet object shows up and the red object shows up in this particular cut. There it is. Did you see it? They went and took pictures from the UVMet network, and it turns out that we're seeing not just here. Okay, look at this. Look at it move across the sky.
Notice how it just gets dark again. Look at that. Where did all that light come from? I'm telling you, it's from this object. It's lighting up the whole sky. It's lighting up the cameras. Again, we see the shadowy object here. Let's see if we can show the progression of the shadow. Yes, and you will see shadows. I'm going to present you the proof that this is going to be casting shadows. But the light is casting. It's coming from the north and casting the shadow forward, as you will see. As a matter of fact, you saw one right there. Here is the shadowy object. Here is being cast on the water. Here we can see this electric planet dancing in the sky. It's an electric universe, so it doesn't move. It's more of an erratic orbit. Some of them are fast moving. They got 3 different speeds. They're in different orbits. Now here we have a shadow and beginning to see these 3 planets. So here we have a planetary body here, in here, casting its shadow here on the water. And just gets more impressive as we go forward. So we can see the shadow. Some of your eyes won't be able to see this, but they will come into view for you. As we go forward, we have the planetary shadow here. We can see the shadow here, casting the faint shadow here. Some of you can't see it, but hang in there. Everybody's going to see the ones coming up. That's how sensitive your eyes are to the shades of color here. Here are these shadows. We have 1, 2, 3 objects. And we like the slideshow. Now we can start to see the orbital path of these 3 massive planets. Look at the shadow here. Okay, that's hang in there. I'm getting to the best shadows. I'm just going to kind of speed through this a little bit. Keep your eye on this here. I think that's part of the lens array. Let's keep going, because you're going to love some of these shadows coming up. Look at that one, people. Look at that. That things are fast moving. And here, another planet coming in from the right. I think it's probably some kind of a triner orbit. There you go. You want your shadow? Right there. And now we can see these 2 other planets in some bizarre triner orbit, kind of probably a figure 8.
To the patent, which is detailed, by the way, and you can get it. It's easy to find on the internet now. It's like it's out there, and you can actually see components that look similar to the way it really ended up being built.
This would be the light source, or the mirrored light that comes through, bounces through these mirrors, showing the light path going through this hole in this circular or hexagonal lens here, bouncing off here.
This is what I want to draw your attention to. They call this a solar simulator satellite, an SSS. This is exactly what we've been telling you about for the longest time, and now Boeing's actually showing what it looks like. The reason I believe these are already in production is because they wouldn't show what it looks like if it wasn't, if they already didn't have the patent for it. These are 2 or perhaps 3 solar simulation satellites is what they call them. And how about that? Right down to the hexagons. How about that? You see the diagram? The sun is over here. It's reflecting its sunlight into this mirror, which goes through this satellite down to another mirror, and then it comes down right here. There it is. Boom. Slowly bringing it out. We've been telling you about this for over a year. I believe these are what we're seeing in the sky. And
the program itself is called NASA STAR. It started in '71, and the idea was to build an artificial light source. Okay, we see evidence of this technology today. So we also see Germany building an artificial sun source.
German scientists are switching on the world's largest artificial sun in the hope that the intense light sources can be used to generate climate-friendly fuel. You see that? How many times have people taken pictures of that behind a cloak of chemtrails and put them out and been called crazy? It seems like once they release this, it's already been done, and this is no exception.
Theory goes that the reason that they had to build this artificial light source, otherwise known as NASA STAR, the reason they had to build this system was because our sun was going to start to dim during this time of the passing of Nibiru and the passing of the Nibiru system. And because of the sun and electromagnetics, what's going to happen is that NASA foresaw this, and instead of panicking the world, and also from an agricultural perspective, they put up this big artificial light.
And how lenses can basically hide a planet. Here's an easy demonstration by pulling it out of focus from your eyes right here, and I'll show you. Just put a lens in front of it, pull it out of the focal point from your eyes, and it disappears. And we can see this thing in front of these large and small lenses. They're there to obscure the planets, so we can't see them. I'll show another video. Again, we can see the lenses here, and we can see the oscillating light source here going up and down. And we can see all the lenses in here. A treat. Some of you have never seen the lens array. For those who have never seen it, I have to keep showing this.
This is the lens array. These ultra-thin lenses that pull the planetary systems that are coming at us out of focus and create projections and orbs in the sky, like we see in this time-lapse video. I have all over the video of the fake sun and the lens array. We can see these interlocking lenses. And I'm going to zoom in for you. Really close. Now we have it. I want to show you how this thing. Okay, so I captured a few times. We still have these smaller lenses right here that basically almost suddenly show up in the sky. And now I'm zooming in. So let's see this extra close breakdown. There we go. Now I'm zoomed all the way on my laptop. Look at that. I'm going to just freeze it there for a second. Are you seeing that? This is a material. This just is beginning to actually show the actual material. This is no ordinary lens system. Do you see how this is totally exposed?
We had somebody with a, call it a 35 millimeter camera that took a picture of the sun, and this is what they came out with. They were actually able to see part of the lensing system. And then here we have a corroborating piece of evidence where we saw a refraction that shows the same device.
I believe this is the reflector dish that reflects the light onto the spinning cubicle device. And then we see that images or an FAA camera and around the world this hexagonal mirror because it's the source of light. Here is an FAA camera and we can see the projection of it, of the light source itself being projected.
You can see it like this, but you'll see there's a little dotted orb in the middle that's oftentimes refracted on, you know, different people's pictures, and everybody thinks it's the cell phone. It's not. It's the Fresnel lens, and that's why we have this dark spot in the middle of the sun itself.
Because here we see the black dot rising on a sunset, reflecting on the water. We fast forward this. Here's the black dot again, and we see it reflecting on the water below. Again, watching this thing rotate, he's going to zoom in on it.
Look at that thing spin, you guys. I'm telling you, this thing projects.
And twice, as the cars pass in front of it, you will see the black dot on the cars, on the window of the car. And I will try to.
The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that had become bitter.
Planet will cause mass destruction. Prophetic warning. Is this the planet X that so many are warning about? I don't know if it is or not, nor do I know the scientific data, but I do know what Yahuweh told me, and the anointing hit me as I wrote the below.
Foolish man, to think you can use mathematics to calculate the date that I, Yahweh, will use a planet in my wrath to cause mass destruction to my enemies. I, Yahweh, have delayed that judgment for the prayers of the true believers. In Yeshua's name, those obedient, walking holy before me, will be spared. And I have had mercy thus far for the sake of my children that call out for more time to reach more souls for the kingdom of heaven. Judgment is delayed but not stopped, and it is I, Yahweh, alone that will calculate the date when my wrath hits the earth. Remember, I, Yahweh, send forth my apostles and prophets to warn before I send my wrath. It is your choice whether you listen and obey. But know this, all shall reap what they have sown, good seed and bad seed alike.